Hi everyone, so it's really gloomy today, so apologize for this, it's pretty much June, so we'll call it June gloom. So in this video, I want to share with you all, based off my experience, on some tips on how to lose weight productively. And just as a disclaimer, what I've done may not work for everybody, but these tips help you assess what you're currently doing and to adjust accordingly to get on track with reaching your goal, because it's pretty much summer now and I know we all want that hot girl summer body. So 5 tips on how to lose weight productively. Tip number 1, know what weight you are trying to lose. Is it body fat percentage, a scale so you can fit into clothing better, or overall feel lighter? I vividly remember a coworker asked me, because I told him I want to lose weight. I thought to myself, it's everything. But then he encouraged me to pick a specific metric. So, in the corporate world, we're like, what are your SMART goals? As I thought more about it, I was like, isn't everything enough? But then no, because you want to be specific, right? So it boiled down to wanting to lose my body fat. So to know what weight you want to lose will help you reach your goal, I think, in a more productive way, because if you want to lose fat, then diet will be your main focus. But then if you want to just lose overall weight, then there's a 2-part component into that, but that's a conversation for another video. So tip number 2 is to look within yourself. Once you figure out what your goal is of what kind of weight you're trying to lose, then you need to carefully observe yourself on a day-to-day basis of what your eating habits are. If there's any triggers that propel you to snack, like stress eating, or if you're even getting enough sleep. These essential habits are fundamentals that require no additional effort on your part, since they're already habits that you do what you need to do to survive on a day-to-day basis. So it's all muscle memory. It's just a matter of being a little more mindful. From having that strong foundation, anything else that you add on will just help compound that effect. Let's say you don't have a strong foundation and you sleep not that well, you don't eat that healthy, but you exercise, which is great. It's just if you're trying to lose weight, then that's going to just be a sunk cost on your end, because it's not something that will be long lasting, since you didn't build those healthy habits in the beginning, which will hit you later down the road when you are stressed and you start to stress eat because of just not building that strong foundation. So I want to break tip number 2 in 3 components. The first one is mindful eating. I'm not telling you to stop snacking or eating, but to be more mindful on how fast you're eating your food, if you're chewing enough before it gets digested, and what you're eating. Is it balanced? Is it processed food? Am I eating too much in one go? Am I eating too little? What you eat, how you eat, will impact the way food gets digested in your body and what the output is. So if you eat ice cream as a meal, you might feel great at first at the sugar high, but then what goes up must come down, so you get that crash. And then the second part is sleep. So the science of sleep and weight loss is so connected. Sleep regulates our hormones that control hunger, fullness, ghrelin, and leptin, which are both signals in our brain that triggers us to be full and be hungry, as well as enhances insulin sensitivity for better glucose metabolism, and reduces cortisol levels to prevent stress-related weight gain. Having enough sleep will help regulate your energy levels and have cognitive control over foods you also consume. If you're tired all the time, you're not gonna want to be active and go for a walk or just do anything physical. And the last part of tip number 2 is to just check in with yourself. Know what state of your mental health is. If you're feeling unwell, depressed, going through a heartbreak, Acknowledge what you're feeling to start that healing process first, above all, because what we think, what we feel is what we become. And I know that this is very hard to sit in to figure that out, because sometimes we don't know how we're feeling. But if you just take some time and do some kind of meditation, whether it's guided meditations to ground yourself or journaling to just figure out how you're feeling, then that's just one step to knowing where you're at with your mental state of health. All right, so tip number 3, plan your exercise routine. Be realistic and know how much time you're willing to commit either each day or each week. If it's just 20 minutes a day for 5 days a week, then pick a type of workout you want to do within those 20 minutes that will help you achieve your weight loss goal. I remember when I first started my fitness journey, I was pretty overweight, not gonna lie. I had a friend that told me you should try jumping rope. And because I was really overweight, most times if someone's overweight, there's a lot of water retention. And the first activity I did was to jump rope. So I spent 20 minutes every day jumping rope. And my goal was to just lose weight number-wise, which I did. So 20 minutes for 2 weeks, I dropped about 5 pounds easily because I didn't gym at the time. So it was just a quick way to just lose all the water retention that was stored, and a consistent way for me to feel like it's sustainable, because 20 minutes a day, everybody has that. So tip number 4 is to find an accountability resource. And what this means is it could be either a tool, a planner, or someone to just help keep you consistent with what you're doing. This will help track your progress and keep you accountable for your habits at least the first month or 2 or 3 of doing it. It takes 1 week to start something, 2 weeks to make it more of a routine, and then probably about a month to make it a habit, and also about a month to see the results. So last tip, number 5, is to just be patient. Just trust the process. I hear this a lot, I've heard a lot, and I'm sure you have too. And it's true. You need to be patient with the results. Unless it's a surgery, you're not going to see changes overnight. You're not going to see changes as quick as you'd like. I, for one, did not see them. And I honestly couldn't see them for the longest time. But because I was consistent, other people did. My relatives, my grandparents, my friends, in the beginning stages of my fitness journey, they're like, wow, you lost a lot of weight. And I didn't see that since I saw myself every day. But because I was consistent and over time I haven't seen them in a while, and then I saw them again, they could tell that there was a difference. And this is overall why it's called a fitness journey for a reason. This is where you go through trial and error to figure out what works, what doesn't work, go through changes in life of just life events, and you just figure out what needs to be refined and what will work for you in this new transition that you're in. Regardless of where you're at, there will be bumps in the road because that's just a part of life. So again, like with consistency, you'll see the results. So that concludes my 5 tips. Let me know if they're helpful, and let me know if there's any other topics that you'd want me to dive more into, and follow me for more things